NCAA basketball net rankings came out this week, and it put Utah State in the top 20 in the nation. And now the Aggies are one of 7 unbeatens left in college basketball. And tonight they're going into Las Vegas and try to finish a perfect preseason against the West Coast Conference, with still a possible other game to go in Hawaii against one of the WCC teams on this preseason. But there is still a long ways to go on this year. But so far, we have seen a lot of positive, getting a lot of positive attention. I mean, starting off number 15 in the nation, Coach Ryan Odom.
Yeah, I mean, we don't read too much into it this early in the season, right? It's just a metric, that exists. Obviously, it's better to be in that position than to be extremely low, and so that's a positive. But it's all about what we do, going forward in the totality of the season. As you know, it's really early, but these games matter. Like these games that we're playing right now clearly matter for later in the year. They don't matter in terms of conference record and that. Competing for a Mountain West championship, but they do matter in the totality of our season. We're approaching each of these games in the same manner. It's a big game for the Aggies.
And again, they have been so entertaining, such a great example of what a team basketball concept can do so far, as we've just enjoyed witnessing it and, of course, talking about it as well. And tonight their story is coming up against the Loyola Marymount Lions from the Mandalay Bay Michelob Ultra Arena. This is the place where the Las Vegas Aces play, the WNBA champions. This is a 2-day event billed as the Jack Jones Hoop Fest, and this is the third of 3 contests there today, and there will be 2 more coming up on Monday. So watch it tonight, Aggie Nation. You go to Sports Network LLC and look for the Jack Jones Hoop Fest, and I think you have to pay $10 to watch it online tonight. Hi, everybody. Al Lewis, and let's begin with our man Jalen Moore to break down what looks like could be another really good test for our 7-0 USU Aggies. And Jalen, I think we went into last Sunday thinking that the game in the home of the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco might have been our toughest test up until now, but our guys really handled a couple of great runs in that game by the Dons and put them away by 18 at the end of the game.
Yeah, they did. Every time we think that there's going to be some type of hard test or some closer game, we end up doing what we need to do to take care of it and make it an easy game. And sometimes when we think it should be an easier game, it's closer than what we think, So that's just what makes basketball so fun. Another WCC team, 8-3. They're going to do a lot of good things. We know the WCC is a strong conference. We've played a few teams from that conference already. But the way that our guys are playing right now, I think we look super, super good. We're playing well together. Our defense looked better last game, only giving up 64 points, which I think was a big point. I think we were giving up a lot of points to some teams that, obviously if you play a little bit better competition, a little bit better teams, they would punish you and win the game. So I was happy to see that our defense traveled with us, and now they get to play in another neutral site. And it's cool, you get to go play where the Warriors play last time, and now you get to go play where the WNBA champs and the Aces play. So back-to-back games on neutral courts, but also really cool arenas where you get to watch some professional people and players play. And that's got to be cool for college athletes to see and play on those kind of courts and in those areas.
I never thought about that, Jalen. Back-to-back games on the champions, the reigning champions of professional basketball on their courts. I think that's very, very good. 5 straight games, though, you're right on, that the Aggies have scored at least 80, I think it is. In 5 straight games, they've shot 50%. And we did say this team was versatile, and we meant personnel-wise. But you know what I think the game showed, and I want to play this from Coach Odom, and then you can talk about it. The Aggies showed a little different dimension in how they can be coachable.
Yeah, I think it's just taking what the defense gives you, right? I mean, if you want to be a great team, and we certainly do, we want to be a great team. We want to be a competitive team. Within our conference, you have to be well balanced. And if you're just a one-dimensional 3-point shooting team, you're not going to make it very far. You can't live and die by the 3. You've heard that, right? And so for us, tonight, the game called for us to drive to the basket and make plays near the rim, and our guys responded and did a great job.
That was, again, last Sunday night after beating USF, but, it was really kind of a little different offensive style for our team, and they showed they can win with that kind of style besides shooting the threes, right?
Yeah, they did, and you could see it watching the game. Obviously San Francisco's plan defensively was to run us off the three-point line, and they knew that we were shooting the highest percentage in college basketball, and so you obviously don't blame them. You know, you try to make us do something that you think we would be uncomfortable doing, but like Coach said, we just adjusted to the game, and we took what the defense gave us, we took what the game gave us, and that was to make plays driving it to the rim and finishing at the rim, but also our three-pointers came from some driving kicks, which we knew would expose themselves when teams run you off the three-point line. So I was happy to see that we made that adjustment offensively and that we just don't, like you said, live and die by the three. You watch, like I said, I use a lot of examples with NBA teams, and the Warriors are a great team. And a lot of people think that, hey, they got Steph and Clay, and that's all they do is shoot threes, and that's how they win. But if you really sit down and watch a Warriors game, yeah, they shoot a lot of threes, they make a lot of threes, but the way that they beat teams is they start inside out, and that's what we did against San Francisco. And I think as long as we start doing that stuff as the season goes on, starting inside out, we're going to be really tough to beat because of the way we shoot the ball so well. You attack the rim, you can make floaters, you can make pull-ups, you can drive the ball. Obviously, the defense has to start respecting that, and that's going to open up some more three-pointers, whether, like I say, on driver kicks or them just slacking back on defense. And I think that's what makes our team so hard to guard, is that we're good in a lot of areas offensively.
And then I think what we saw in the game against San Francisco is the style fit the strengths of like a Sean Bairstow to get back into it. I mean, isolation plays, backing somebody down, doing a little of that. We need Sean's athleticism and his length to make us a little bit of a different dimensional basketball team too.
Yeah, we do. And like you said, I think he excels there in those areas, right? He's not a terrible three-point shooter, but that's not what he excels in. You know, it's just he's a very good ISO player. He's a very good big wing. He's a very good big guard. He likes to get inside, shoot turnaround jumpers, finish at the rim, run in transition. That is where he excels in his game. Obviously, if you give him the three, he's going to shoot it if he's wide open. But he would rather take things that are given to him where he feels like he excels in it, and it's in those areas, and that's what San Francisco gave him, and that's where he showcased those skills that game. And obviously you have guys like Ashworth and Funk. They're going to be our three-point shooters regardless of what the game plan is. But it was good to see guys like that do rely heavily on that three-pointer be able to do other things, whether it was either scoring or facilitating for teammates, and that's what they did that game as well. And so it's, like I said, it's good that we have depth and we have all five guys and all three or four guys that come off the bench that kind of excel in different areas on the court, and that's what makes us so hard. You can take away that three-point line, and when you do, now you got to worry about guys like Bairstow and Dan and Shulga and guys like that can excel in those areas. But, hey, if you want to take away the drive, take away the two-pointers, now you got to deal with the three-pointers from Ashworth and Funk and Shulga and guys like that can spread the court out.
Now, Ashworth and Funk were just 3 for 11 against San Francisco. Real solid lately. Max Shulga and Dan Aiken for this team. Obviously, but Bairstow, it was his night. He had 50 kids, they said, from his old high school out of Australia that were watching him in San Francisco. They happened to be on a trip to the United States, spurred him on, and after he got the 12 points, when he'd scored 26 total in the previous 5 games after 19 in the opener, I said to him, wasn't that nice?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It felt really good. Confidence been a bit low. Haven't really been in rhythm, and I feel like that definitely broke it. I feel good about it.
You just seem to just be able to isolate some guys and do more of the things that you've been able to do. Is that kind of what you were doing?
Yeah, I feel like the way they've just been, the way we've been shooting the ball, really, like you could tell that they didn't want us shooting threes, so they were locking out a lot. So it just opened a lot of driving lanes. There wasn't much help defense coming except the 5 under the hoop, and then it was easy to make the dump-off pass to the big.
So that's Sean Bairstow after his game against San Francisco. And again, no Rylan Jones again tonight. He missed the San Francisco game with that concussion. He's still out. He's on the road to improvement is what they said, but he will not play tonight. So, Jalen, we just talked about it a minute ago. Both of us thought USF would be the toughest WCC test for the Aggies this year, and they've already beaten Santa Clara, and they've beaten San Diego. And maybe down the stretch, we will still find out where those games stand. But now, tonight, Jalen, 8-3 Loyola. A team that last year, again, had a record of 11-18. They were picked way down in the WCC this year. But this team really has been pretty impressive. They come off a win at Grand Canyon on the road. They beat Nevada before that. They've beaten Wake Forest and also this year beaten Georgetown.
Yeah, they've done a lot of good things. Obviously, usually, like you said, they kind of are picked at the bottom of the WCC, but kind of touches on exactly what we talk about with these guys. They know that if they want to compete in the WCC with the likes of BYU and Gonzaga and those other top-tier San Francisco-type teams, they got to recruit better. They got to get in that transfer portal. They got to make some changes. And you look at a team like Loyola Marymount, and they've done that. Right, they're 8-3 right now. Like you said, they've beaten a lot of good teams. They've lost to some good teams, right? You go and you look at some teams. They've lost to UC Irvine, UC Riverside, and Colorado State. We know that those three programs are pretty solid. We know what you're going to get from Colorado State. You know what you're going to get from UC Irvine. And the thing is, like you said, you flip that, and they beat Wake Forest. They beat Grand Canyon at Grand Canyon, which is a very hard place to play, and they beat Georgetown. So they've had good teams. Like, they're going to be a team that we have to actually put away. We have to go out there with confidence, go out there and play like we've played in all our other games, and we're going to have to put this team away because they are a team sort of similar to Utah Tech. I think they're going to be better than Utah Tech is, but similar that if you give them the confidence, you let them hang around for a lot of the game, they're going to be right there towards the end. And now there's pressures on us to put them away since we are the undefeated team. So I think we got to go out with confidence and do what we've been doing because this is a team, if they hang around, they're going to have all their chances to pull off the upset tonight. Okay, so we're going to center in more on those LMU Lions. They're coached by a guy who played high school basketball in Utah, Stan Johnson. He was at Taylorsville as a player there. He went to Southern Utah as a player. He was an assistant at Utah, assisted by David Merrick, who was involved with Stu Morrill's staff here in Logan a few seasons earlier. He also played in Cedar City for Southern Utah. So we got that coming up. Aggie Game Day is brought to you in part by DD Auto and Salvage. There may be snow on the ground, but they can still get that vehicle out of your yard and away. They'll pay you top dollar for your junk vehicles. Call them Monday, 787-1204. White Pine Funeral Services, primary provider of funeral and cremation services here in the Valley. Visit whitepinefunerals.com. And Primrose Home Care and Hospice, locally owned since 2006. They offer people have a choice. Please choose Primrose. Next, we'll get to Jalen's Keys. We got our coaches segment later on. But we're going to talk about an assistant coach. We're going to hear from Matt Henry tonight. He's going to talk about recruiting one of these guys who's already signed, this kid out of Texas in Carson Templeton.
It's a tough combination for us to find because we appreciate skill and passing and shooting, but we're also always, to compete at this level, need ruggedness and competitiveness and physicality. And I think he finds a good mixture of that.
And our player segment tonight is Dan Akin coming up as well. It's game day. Aggies are in Vegas against Loyola Marymount, and it's starting at 10:30, streaming on Sports Network LLC.
The Young Automotive Group is proud to announce Young Truck and Trailer Center in Cache Valley. Whether it's heavy equipment trailers, horse trailers, race car trailers, or cargo and utility trailers, we're excited to offer some of the finest trailers and flatbed work trucks to Cache Valley. Our team of experts look forward to helping you find the right truck or trailer to fit your needs, with competitive prices offered on every make and model for sale on our lot. With our extensive inventory, you'll find the best deals right here in Cache Valley. Young Truck and Trailer Center, just off Highway 89 in Logan. Think young, drive young.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you. Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit jobs.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
It's back. Jarek's Fine Jewelry in Logan is having our annual Pick a Pearl event. If you've attended this in the past, you know how much fun we have. And if you haven't come before, you don't want to miss this exciting event. For only $10, pick your oyster, open it that day, or save it for that stocking stuffer surprise. Mark your calendar, Friday and Saturday, December 9th and 10th. Pick a Pearl at Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Look for the bright green cars.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
Nothing compares to the warmth and feel that a wood stove provides. The two-time Best of Northern Utah winning team says there's never been a better time to replace your old inefficient wood stove and install a new energy-efficient EPA-certified Vermont casting wood product in your home. The U.S. government is offering federal tax credits of 26% on your wood stove install. For Vermont casting units, that includes stoves, venting, and labor. Call or email Advanced Fireplace and Stove for a free in-home estimate. Call 435-752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Talking about Aggie basketball like no one else can. KVNU Game Day is back.
Yes and no. Like, obviously, I knew we was good from like scrimmages and stuff, but I didn't think we was going to be this good.
That's Dan Atkin, again, coming up a little bit later on our game day tonight. You'll hear from Dan, part one of an interview we had with him the other day, as we continue KVNU Game Day tonight. Al Lewis and Jalen Moore. I mean, Jalen, 7-0 start, tied for fourth best in school history. It matches the latest team to do it, which was the beginning of 2019-20, 3 seasons ago. And the best teams all time, 19, 17, 18, they went 9-0, and they were 9-0 for the year. So that's a pretty good season. And then the team of 1938 and 1939, they went to the first NCAA tournament ever. And then the team of 61-62 won 8 in a row at the start of the year. They were also an NCAA team in basketball. So it's kind of interesting. Again, this team already is, if it's trending the right way, it trends to be a good season with this start, if they can especially get it to 8-0 tonight against Loyola. And we just mentioned at the top of our show, Jalen, now there's only 7 undefeated teams in college basketball. 3 more dropped out of there today, including number 1 Houston. So really, talk about how hard it is to put together streaks in basketball, because there's streaks in games, we know, but to win and to win and to win, sometimes under duress, which maybe the Aggies have had to do without Ryland last couple of games, maybe, who knows, it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's a very hard thing, especially in D1 to win at this level. You know, you got to do a lot of things. Obviously, we know nothing's ever going to be perfect because you got humans playing, right? They're going to make mistakes. But the biggest thing, too, is just having confidence, being mentally tough, being physically tough, knowing things that aren't going to go your way, not dropping your head, being good teammates, listening to your coaches. And when you see our team, they do all those things. They prep well, they shoot the ball well, they play with confidence, they're there for each other, they're great teammates. They do all the things that a winning team and a winning culture should do. And I think that's a big reason why we've been 7-0 so far. Like, obviously, are a lot of teams going to have a perfect season nowadays in basketball? Probably not. It's hard to win every single game. You're just bound to run into a team eventually at some night that plays really well and upsets you. Just like you said, Houston lost to Alabama tonight, right? There's been a lot of different changes in the top 5, top 10 so far this year. You even look at a team like North Carolina. I think they're on a 4-game losing streak, and everybody thought they might just kind of run through college basketball. It's just a different time. Like I said, you don't get all those 5-star recruits that go to those main 5 schools just with these NIL deals and all the things going on. There's a lot of guys that go where they feel like they can play and they can produce, and that makes these under teams and these mid-major teams better. And that's what makes college basketball so fun, is you have to go out every night and play with that chip on your shoulder. And so far we've done that, right? And that's why we've looked so good.
And then you mentioned this in our first segment. I mean, they have scored all these points, 80 points. I think it's 6 straight games. I think I said 5. But again, besides handling things different offensively against San Francisco, this team, again, showed it was coachable on the defensive side, as Coach Odom pointed out.
Yeah, we knew we were going to be in for a really hard-fought game, and it would be a tough game for us to win. The key for us was intensity on defense, in this particular game. We had lost it a little bit in the last 3 games. We challenged our guys with film and preparation and practice, to really ramp it up defensively and play harder, quite honestly, and more intense on that end and more urgent to get stopped. And it continued, throughout the game. Certainly San Francisco made some great runs in there and got it tight in both halves.
Interesting, when you get to our coaches segment later on, Jalen, after we're done with you, Coach will talk about how this team gave up too much against Utah Tech. You just talked about this team can be like Utah Tech. They have a group of team players that can shoot the ball, all of them, so you can't let them get a little bit going the right direction. So let's hope that the coaches still got their attention as far as playing defense in this game tonight. That'll be very important.
Yeah, they're gonna need to. Like they are very similar to Utah Tech. Like I said, I think they're going to be a little bit better, obviously, because of just the length that they've been playing D1 basketball and the recruits that they've gotten. We knew that Utah Tech has to adjust to the D1 style of basketball, and I think over the years they'll get better. But they are very similar. They have a guy that averages about 18, then about 15, then after that it drops down to about 9, 8, and then it just goes down the bench. So the biggest thing is they're very consistent offensively, scoring wise. They can shoot the ball well. And like I said, if they build confidence like we let Utah Tech do, if we don't play defense, they're going to be right there with us right until the very end. And so this is a team where, are we going to put them away right early in the game? Yeah, maybe, but they also might not. But now it comes down to that second half and making big plays and producing on momentum swings and what can we do to win the game. And like I say, it always comes down to a lot of the little things: rebounding the ball, shooting free throws well, taking care of the ball, playing defense, right? Obviously, most of the time, if you do those four things, those small things that a lot of people don't think about, you're going to come away and win games. And at the D1 level, it's hard and it's very hard to win, but you have to do those four things every night. And so far, for the most part, we've done most of those things, and that's why we're 7-0.
And what was great the other night against San Francisco, they didn't turn over the ball again. Now, again, without Ryan Jones in there, Rylan Jones, still, it doesn't all fall on Stephen Ashworth, which the coach is happy about too.
Yeah, no question. I mean, all of our guys can handle, and so we could put Z in it, we can put Sean in it, we can put RJ in it, we can put Max in it, obviously. And the way we run our offense, they're all kind of interchangeable. And so that's a positive, thing for us.
Positive for this team to be able to run different people at point guard. We have 9 players deep on this team so far. The least productive of the 9 up until now, let's face it, Jalen, has been RJ Idlerock, who played a lot last year. He played a little more the last couple of games, and so we're thinking maybe he might be a little more on the upturn. But I just want to talk about, just for a minute, again, a guy that really seems to be struggling a little bit in his situation and finding his playing time. Because, and again, Dan Akin has certainly made a difference there. Trevin Dorius. And again, tonight, Loyola at times will put in a 7-1 center, a transfer from Oklahoma, and Rick Izajek. So again, Trevin could be a key guy in this game tonight.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, obviously, RJ played a lot last year. A lot of our underclassmen have gotten better and improved. Not that RJ hasn't, but it just goes. It just goes with the flow of the season. It goes with the flow of the game. And every game, like I say before, every game is different. Like, this is the second game Rylan hasn't been in. RJ's going to get more playing time this game, and when he gets that playing time, like, what's he going to do with that playing time? Is he going to produce? Is he going to facilitate? Is he going to play defense? Is he going to rebound? Is he not going to turn the ball over? Like, those are all the little things that the coaches are going to look at. And if he does those things, regardless, when Rylan comes back, if you take 5 minutes that you play, you take 10 minutes, take 25 minutes, however much time it is. If you go out there and you produce and you play hard, you come out with energy and effort, you're a good teammate, you listen to the coaches, that playing time is going to stay there. Now, if you don't do those things, if you go out there and you don't produce, like, obviously they're going to play people that do produce, right? And so those are the things that guys have to understand is you got to go out there with the time, regardless of what you're given, and you got to go out and produce. And I just think there's some guys that have stepped up that have done in a bigger role. How many people thought Dan would be doing what he's doing? He's been great for us. Obviously, he's been taking a lot of the time at the center just because we play in some teams that sometimes are smaller, sometimes a little bit more athletic, sometimes can get up and down the court a little bit more. And that doesn't treat Trevin as well. Now when the 7-1 guy comes in and that big guy from Oral Roberts comes in, Trevin treats our team well. Taylor Funk's been shooting at a high level. Ashworth been shooting at a high level. Those are the guys, like, they're going to play those guys because of the way that they're producing right now. And it's a long season. Guys keep going funks. People get hurt. People get sick. It could be whatever. So everybody just has to stay ready and be able to produce with the minutes that they're given.
All right, so you've mentioned their leading scorer is at number 20. His name is Cam Shelton, a 6'2 senior guard. He's had his second year with Loyola. Previously was at NAU. He's a driver. He can shoot threes. He's a clutch guy. And he's averaging 18.2. Kelly LePepe is really a handful. He's 6'6", he's 240, he's strong, he's an offensive rebounder, but he can shoot. He gets fouled a lot, and he's averaged 15.1. Chance Stevens, three-point shooter, a sniper, got to watch number 3. And the number 2 is Justin Ahrens, another shooter, Ohio State transfer. Jalen Anderson, number 0, he kind of basically runs the ball and runs it around. They got some guys that come off the bench. They are missing a couple of guys who haven't played yet, and I don't know when they'll be eligible to get in with injuries for them, but they're aggressive. They push the ball. They do seem to turn it over a little bit. They foul quite a bit at times, so that's kind of the capsule of this team. They spent their offseason in Italy and Greece together on a trip. That sometimes puts a team together. So that sets it up for S.C. Needham Jewelers' keys to the game tonight from S.C. Needham Jewelers, the state's oldest jewelry store where Utah gets engaged. So what do you have for the game tonight, Jalen Moore? What do you see?
Yeah, obviously got 3 keys again. I haven't touched on this in a bit, but we have to win the rebound battle this game. It's so important. This is probably the closest team that we've played against so far that rebounds almost as well as we do. We're only plus 0.9 on this team. So that's going to be probably the biggest key is, hey, now there's been some games where they actually out-rebound the other team and they end up losing. But for the most part, they out-rebound the team and end up winning, obviously, with that 8-3 record. For us having only not even not even plus 1 of rebounds, that's going to be so crucial this game of defense rebound, offensive rebounding, and us boxing out. So I think that's going to be the number one thing that we have to look out for. Number 2, like you said, they have a guy that averages 18, a guy that averages about 15.7, and right after that I think it's about 9.7, almost 10 points, right? That's one of the danger areas because you run into a guy that's at 9.7. He can go off some games. He can go under some games where he scores about 4 or 5. So my second key is you can't let a third scorer get into the mix. I think those guys that average about 18, 16 points, obviously there's a reason why they average that because they're good scorers, they're good players. That's what they do on a nightly basis. When you run into a team like this, you let a third or fourth scorer get up into the double figures, it can hurt you. You can be in trouble because now you end up having 4 or 5 guys in double figures, and you look back and they have 80 points or so, and they end up beating you. So that's the second key. We can't get a third or fourth guy into the mix of scoring. And number 3, this game, I think we're going to have to shoot better from the 3-point percentage than we did against San Francisco. I still think they're going to run us off the 3-point line a little bit, but we still had looks against San Francisco that we didn't fall. I think we have to shoot above 30% at least. Against San Francisco, we were only 26%. But I think if we shoot above 30% offensively from the 3-point line, we don't let a third score get into the mix, and we win that rebounding battle, I think we come away with the win tonight. And, okay, one quick thing that the coach wanted to add to keys in this game is find all of their shooters at the right times.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to the 2 games ago with Utah Tech. You know, you look at them and you say, all right, they're a pretty good 3-point shooting team. But it's more about, you know, the totality of their team. It's not just 2 guys. You know, it's a lot of guys that can make threes.
So, again, a lot of their teams, including LePepe, can go out there, the guy who does like to go to the basket a lot as well. And he's going to be a real handful. I don't know if Atkin can handle him. I don't know if Bairstow's thick enough. We'll have to wait and see what happens at that spot. And, of course, Taylor Funk would probably be involved as well. Jalen, you're always involved. We do appreciate you so much. And we got, we got 1 game next week on Thursday. So we'll talk to you next Thursday night when the Aggies play Westminster, okay?
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
We always appreciate you. Jalen Moore joining with us pregame. All right, let's move along on KVNU Game Day. As we mentioned, Dan Atkin is one of our features tonight.
Definitely should be a fun matchup to watch, yeah.
He'll shoot a few more threes maybe than you might, though.
No, yeah, he will. Yeah. No, yeah, he looks like a big, strong guy that obviously take mismatches. But, yeah, I feel like I'm a good cover for him, or like Taylor's a good cover for him, so.
That's the matchup of LePepe tonight in the game for Dan, and he'll talk about that as we continue on Game Day. Brought to you in part by HSA Depot, the store where you can confidently use your HSA and FSA to buy your medical supplies for your family, by Sally's Beauty Supply, and by Thermo Fisher Scientific, making the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. As Game Day continues on KVNU.
Prodigy Brewing has so much appreciation and gratitude for the warm embrace Cache Valley has given us. We want to invite you to join us for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Our Sunday-only brunch menu features sweet and savory options such as churro French toast, chilaquiles, fried chicken egg sandwich, and a Bloody Mary bar. You also won't want to miss our hash browns. Whether you're out with a family or friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley. Open 7 days a week, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
This is Zach with HSA Depot. Christmas is nearly here. Make sure you be merry and bright by using your pre-tax funds on your medical needs. We know your regular holiday budget is disappearing quick, so instead, save money by using your pre-tax income to buy qualifying medical supplies. HSA Depot carries hundreds of unique and dashing eligible products to help you conquer your healthcare. Come to HSA Depot next to Sally Beauty Supply and see how much you can save this holiday season. HSA Depot, 5-star review.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. A mattress store recently closed right next door to our Riverdale location. Most people have said how awesome that is for us. I think I disagree. At My Mattress, we love competition. We love it if you shop other places, but also give us a shot. Shop online or go to other stores, maybe even a warehouse sale, but come into My Mattress because we want our shot at winning your business. Come into My Mattress right now and see if better sleep and better pricing are what you'll find.
Miss a minute? You're missing a lot. Breaking news, stimulating talk, news talk, KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient as well as the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006.
As a small business, achieving your financial goals and ambitions can be a steep and rocky mountain climb. This is Lance Zollinger, president at Cache Valley Bank. To conquer the mountain and achieve your goals, it takes planning, hard work, and discipline. At Cache Valley Bank, we have the resources, expertise, and flexibility to help you scale your way to success. Give us a call. Let's work together and climb the mountains that await. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by Alpine Home Medical on News Talk KVNU.
Being physical with them without fouling and getting them off some of his shots from three and not getting caught in between where you're running back to him all the time. If you're running back to him all the time, that's where he's really good off of his fakes. And he uses his speed to get around or his physicality to get around. And so we want him to have to make 2 and 3 moves, to get to the basket on us. We don't want the straight line drives, when he's attacking us.
I mean, Cam Shelton is really, again, their scorer and their clutch guy. But this Kelly Leo Pepe, he is a 3-year player for Loyola out of Melbourne, Australia, is the guy that seems to have the coach a little worried tonight. We're going to talk to Dan Atkin about playing against him tonight. Let's check scoreboard right now. BYU was on a 12-0 run. They led Creighton by, 76-64, and then they just called a timeout. So BYU's got an 11-point lead. Now, Southern Utah already won their game down there today, so the Aggies can make it a clean sweep in this Jack Jones Hoop Fest for these teams from the state of Utah. And remember, if you want to watch the game, you go to the website, which is, again, it's called Sports Network LLC, and you have to pay $9.95 to even stream it. The game is not on FS1. There are some places out there that's saying it's on FS1, but it is not. The BYU game is, the Aggie game is not. Wyoming beat Louisiana Tech today. Boise State beat St. Louis. Oregon beat Nevada. Pacific beat Fresno State. San Jose beat Santa Clara at Santa Clara by 11. UNLV beat Washington State in a hoop clash in Vegas, which was on a neutral floor, and they're 10-0. And New Mexico is 9-0. They beat UTSA today, 94-76. And then St. Mary's beat San Diego State, 68-61 down in Arizona today on the scoreboard. Again, our scoreboard tonight brought to you by Young Truck and Trailer Center, the place for trailers and flatbed work trucks in the valley. And again, I sat down and talked to our man who lately has been so great off the bench, Dan Atkin. When you play basketball, I can tell that you love to play. Very aggressive, but it looks like you're having a lot of fun. I think that's, it looks like that's maybe a goal of yours, or how would you put it?
No, yeah, that's definitely right. Obviously, play with a lot of energy. That's how I try to help the team. And then obviously, the most important thing is always to have fun. Regardless of the score, just go out there, do your best, and have fun. Yeah.
I know you like to cover centers, but I can see you like to cover guards too. You'd like to switch off to those guys once in a while.
No, yeah, that's one of my strengths. Can guard pretty much anyone. So yeah, if I have to guard a guard, I can guard a guard. And obviously, I've got a got a bigger guy, yeah.
It looks like right now also your basketball game is on a pretty good mental and physical realm. You feel good about what's going on. It looks like right now you're playing well, you're shooting the shots that you can shoot and making plays for this team and been so big. How does that feel?
Obviously it feels good. Obviously joining a new team is always like that unknown again, like what's your role going to be and stuff. So obviously I'm enjoying my role in this team, obviously coming off the bench and being a little spark plug, and obviously just trying to help the team out, just trying to get wins, yeah.
Because you're playing starter minutes even though you've been off the bench.
Yeah, just obviously just a testament to the strength of the team. Obviously we got like 8 or 9 starters, so.
Are you surprised though how the team has started and played and up until now in these games?
Yes and no. Like obviously I knew we was good from like scrimmages and stuff, but I didn't think we was going to be this good. I knew like obviously we shoot a lot of threes, but I didn't know like how good we were going to be if the threes weren't dropping. And obviously the last game kind of showed we can do like multiple things.
Yeah, the win against San Francisco shows that you guys can, maybe somebody tries to throw you off your game or whatever your game supposedly was, and you're versatile and do something else.
Yeah, definitely. That's like goes again to like we have multiple guys who can step up. We don't have to always rely on like Steven and Taylor to hit threes. We got a bunch of guys who can get layups and get other shots, you know.
And the coach said after the game he's really happy that you guys finally listened to him, that maybe the defense had been slipping a little and you guys did put the clamps on a little more defensively. And that's really, I guess, where it all starts is, I mean, you guys probably have to rebound and defend because the offense is probably always going to be there.
Yeah, no doubt, yeah. That was a big emphasis of like that whole week, just guarding guys, and they were showing us a bunch of numbers and stuff. Like our defense was like just wasn't good the last 3 or 4 games. We had to get back to like locking in and obviously like just keying in on key guys and key sets. So yeah, I think we did a good job of doing that.
No doubt about that. So what have they told you about Loyola, this team that you're going to play Saturday night?
They shoot a lot of threes. They have their point guard's really good, and then their 4-man's really good. So if we can obviously limit the threes and key on those 2 guys, we should be in a good position to win the game.
When I look at their team and I look at the stats, I haven't seen him play, but their 4 guy looks like the kind of guy who likes to play the game kind of like you do in some ways. If you looked at film, can you kind of see he's kind of like that?
Yeah, I watched that game last night. I mean, I played GCU last night, so I watched a little bit. So yeah, definitely should be a fun matchup to watch, yeah.
He'll shoot a few more threes maybe than you might, though.
No, yeah, he will. Yeah.
He does like to do that, but again, he seems to have that energetic thing, rebound, go after offensive boards, things like that.
No, yeah, he looks like a big, strong guy that obviously take mismatches. But yeah, I feel like I'm a good cover for him, or like Taylor's a good cover for him, so I think we should be good.
Well, you've had a lot of years in college basketball. He has 2, so that should be a good matchup. So, again, to finish this up, coming to Logan, you enjoyed Logan and Utah and being around this campus and stuff?
No, yeah, obviously Logan's just like different to anywhere else you're going to be. So, yeah, just taking everything in. Obviously, great sceneries, great people out here. So, yeah, enjoying the time.
Never-ending people like London is.
Yeah, not like London, not like Baltimore, not like Cali.
No, they're all different than where places you've been to.
Definitely, yeah.
Did you? I mean, and probably in your wildest dreams, you never thought you'd get a chance to ever see Utah or go through, or when you came to came to America?
Yeah, never ever. I didn't think I was ever going to meet like just Utah people or come into contact with some Mormons or anything. Mm-hmm. So I never thought I'd be out here. It's crazy where college basketball takes you.
And Dan, I know you'd like to. I hope your friend RJ can start to play more because we're seeing a little bit more of what he can do, and I don't think we've seen it yet this year, right?
Yeah, obviously he had a tough summer. He had surgery and whatnot, so he's still kind of trying to find his feet. But yeah, obviously, yeah, RJ is a big part of the team, and he's starting to feel more comfortable, and he's definitely going to put in a show in a couple of games. Yeah.
How long have you known him?
I've known him since I was 17. So that's like 6 years, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's been a while, yeah.
So a long-time friend, and it's good to have that with that. It's good to meet you, and again, we love your personality. We like you on the floor. We like what you're doing, and big contributor to this team. Thanks for joining with us.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
And another game down the road here in this month, we will have him talk about his road of coming from London to UMBC, to California now to the Aggies. He's twice led the team in scoring, twice led the team in rebounding, had 2 double-doubles on the year. He plays the 4th most minutes of anybody on the team in games. He's averaging 13.7 and 7.7 rebound, hitting 72% of his shots. Dan Atkin, our guests tonight. Brought to you by LSS Insurance. Remember, you can always Google LSS Insurance and look at their webpage. Terrific stuff there about all of their things that they can help you with all insurance, including Medicare. When you're turning 65, get with them. They've got great plans available. 752-9493. All right, we do have Coach, again, Matt Henry coming up in an interview tonight.
Yeah, the top was incredible last year, and the middle was very strong. And I think what we're looking at this year in the league is the bottom is lifted.
We're going to talk about the Mountain West and some recruiting with him. And then, of course, the coaches segment coming up next with Coach Ryan Odom.
Averaging close to 20 a game. He's their primary player. He's good in ball screens. He's good shooting behind the arc. He's good porching in the lane. You know, he's just a tough matchup and makes big plays for them.
He's talking about, again, their leading player, again, Cam Shelton, number 20 for Loyola. The team they play tonight, who's 8-3, and they've beaten Georgetown. They've beaten Wake Forest. They've beaten Grand Canyon. They've beaten Nevada. And the Aggies, again, are 7-0, one of 7 undefeated, as we continue on game day on KVNU.
Holiday parties and events at the Riverwoods Conference Center offer a festive and fun holiday atmosphere. Paired with catering from the Elements Restaurant, your special occasion can include tasty hors d'oeuvres, delicious entrees, and decadent desserts that always deliver excellence. Now accepting reservations for the 2022 holiday season, the Riverwoods Conference Center and Elements Restaurant can accommodate you whether your event is large or small. Visit theriverwoods.com or call 750-5151.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
This is James Stevens with White Pine Funeral Services. We are humbled by and grateful for the tremendous support we have been shown since opening our doors nearly 2 years ago. So we just want to say thank you. On behalf of everyone at White Pine, first and foremost, thank you for allowing us the honor and privilege of serving you and caring for your loved ones. Additionally, thank you for voting White Pine the best mortuary in Cache Valley in both 2021 and 2022.
White Pine Funeral Services, here when you need us most.
Happy holidays and thank you for letting Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center take care of your family medical needs. Make sure you call now for an appointment before the end of the year to utilize your cafeteria funds. Located in Providence and the new Three Peaks Medical Plaza, North Logan. The entire staff, along with Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette, wish you a safe and wonderful holiday. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products included. Select Med are accepted.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by Thermo Fisher on News Talk KVNU.
Yeah, it was massive. It was really the only focus of the game. We know our offense is going to come, and when we get out there, we'll sort all that stuff out. But on the defensive end, we've been trending in a negative way, and we just want to get back to that and let that create our offense.
Aggies had to get back to holding San Francisco to 64, had to bring down the percentages, watch the threes. Again, it's a major deal again in this game tonight as we get going. Sean Bairstow there as we have Aggie Game Day. Let's do our coaches segment brought to you by Daryl's Appliance in Benson. No need to shop the big box store when you do the appliances you need are at Daryl's. Great fridges and freezers, washers, dryers, rangers, dishwashers, all at great prices. We appreciate Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales. So let's update you with the coach on the status of Rylan Jones.
He's out again. Yeah, he's still recovering. Yeah, he's improving. Yeah, he's improving. He's ahead of schedule probably from where we thought he would be.
So again, still out here. They won't play till next Thursday. And then they have the game Monday with the Weber State before they head to Hawaii. So hopefully he should be back in the next little bit. S.E. Needham Jewelers always with our Aggie lineup for the game. Remember, over 125 years, shopping at Needham's is a tradition for families during the holiday season, especially for your loved one, for sure. So now that put Stephen Ashworth into the starting lineup, usually Loyola will start the 7-1 center, so Trevin Dorius probably at the start to go along with Taylor Funk, and also Sean Bairstow and Max Scholga as the starters for the Aggies. But we'll see a lot, of course, of Dan Akin, who we just heard from a few minutes ago, into this game. And like Sean Bairstow pointed out, this Aggie team has been versatile. And now they have gotten back again against San Francisco, and the coach is hoping it lasts tonight against the three-point shot.
Just not being intense, enough on defense. Like, we've got to be more intense. We were early in the season, the first couple of games, but then, we've gotten away from that. We can't be just content to trade baskets with folks. We've got to be more intense and intentional and, getting stops and moving as the basketball moves around the perimeter. And
BYU, incidentally, has a 79-76 lead with 1:53 to go. They've kind of willed it away from an 11-point lead, and Creighton's coming back on them. They're shooting a three right here. They don't make it. BYU rebounds in the same building where the Aggie game's coming up. So no doubt the Aggie game will start later than 10:30 because they're at 10:15 and they've still got a minute and a half to play, and BYU's just throwing the ball away. So Creighton will have another chance in a one-possession game now after they were down, I think, 11 or 12 here in the second half. 79-76. Creighton's number 21 in the nation, but their best player is not playing tonight, and they have lost 3 games in a row, so they've been struggling. Meantime, this Loyola team, again, was not supposed to be good. 10th in the preseason in the West Coast Conference. Coach Odom?
They're a talented group. They're well coached. They push the pace and transition. They rebound the ball well. They're pretty balanced on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. So they provide, a stiff challenge for us and one that we're excited to face.
They hit 36% of their threes. They have a bunch of guys who can make three. 5 of them have made at least 15 up until now. They shoot 46 from the field. They score 77.5. They give up about 80 points a game. They only allow the opponents 43%, only 31.5 from the three-point line. So Coach Stan Johnson, who we mentioned, is from Taylorsville High School, played at Southern Utah, and coached at the University of Utah as an assistant, been at Marquette, and then got this job 3rd year as the coach of LMU, this team. And he does have these 2 outstanding players. But again, the rest of the team, very impressive to the coach as he gives us a rundown.
Shelton's having a great season right now, averaging close to 20 a game. He's their primary player. He's good in ball screens. He's good shooting behind the arc. He's good porching in the lane. He's just a tough matchup and makes big plays for them. Leia Pepe is a unique player, physical size, not a jumper necessarily, but can shoot threes, can drive the ball and expose matchup, can get fouled going to the basket, rebounds the ball and attacks mismatches really well. So he could play the 4 and the 5, so that provides a stiff challenge playing against our bigs. Those 2 in particular kind of lead their team. Anderson's really good. And then they have two elite shooters that we've got to make sure that we do a great job of not allowing them catch and shoots. They have to dribble to shoot, and they can shoot it, like Taylor, and Steven 4 and 5 feet behind the line.
We're talking about Chance Stevens, number 3, and Justin Aarons, number 2, but also, again, he'll shoot it, the guy who comes off the bench, number 23. The rest of their team, not much of it. So, they're kind of like they would like to play maybe 7, 8 guys and in their rotation. They won 4 in a row at one time, then lost to Colorado State, and then they have now won their last 2. They were 9th preseason, not 10th. And, again, they're in this WCC conference, which we have seen a lot, and the Aggies, of course, have played well against up until now. Meantime, though, tonight, as we said, the Aggie, Jalen Moore pointed it out, back-to-back games in Champions Arenas. The Warriors won the NBA championship. The Las Vegas Aces won the WNBA championship, and the Aggies are playing in their building there in this Michelob Ultra Arena tonight in this Jack Jones Hoop Fest. Coach?
Tough to get games in Logan. We appreciate Loyola Marymount being willing to play us in a neutral site. This is a true neutral site, unlike the last one against San Francisco. And so it's a good opportunity for us to play in a different setting. Obviously, you've got 3 Utah schools there, and so hopefully all of us fare well, in Vegas.
And so far, Southern Utah won in their game against Fullerton, and now BYU looked like they were going to win with 1:14 to go, and the officials are still reviewing a last play, 79-76. So Creighton has got back. BYU's made a lot of mistakes in the last few minutes to make this a ball game with 1:14 to go, so that one could still change as we go down the stretch. In the meantime, going down the stretch of our game day, we thought you wanted to hear about recruits with these assistant coaches, and so we'll have Matt Henry talk a little bit about the guy from Texas Again, a guy who is really raw but talented.
One of the neat things about Carson is he's not going to be 18 until June 15th. Wow. So he's going to come to summer school next year as a 17-year-old.
Carson Templin. We'll have him talk about that right off the bat and more from Matt Henry, the Utah State assistant coach, tonight on Game Day. Brought to you by Advanced Fireplace and Stove. Again, don't put up with that dirty and dingy wood stove anymore. 752-7272. Some really good ideas for wood stoves and for fireplaces. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat. They're in Providence and also in North Logan at that Three Peaks Medical Plaza. And the Allergy Clinic and Hearing Aid Center, along with Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, accepting new patients. Most insurance products, including Select Med, are accepted. And ChemDry of Northern Utah. Not only carpets, but upholstery cleaning, specialty stain removal, leather cleaning restoration, granite countertop renewal, wood floor cleaning, dryer vent cleaning. They can do that. 752-6100. Again, for ChemDry of Northern Utah, bringing you Game Day here on KVNU.
It's never too cold or wet to get rid of that old vehicle. Now is the time to earn extra cash for the holidays by calling DD Auto and Salvage. Let them pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles, paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Les Olson IT structured cabling is second to none. Tired of old and inefficient cabling? Have an upgrade or remodel planned? Building a new network from the ground up? We offer the very best in low voltage cabling installation, including data, phone, fiber optic, and more. Ask us how to get your free consultation today.
Les Olson IT.
Advanced Heating and AC, the two-time gold medal winner in Best in Northern Utah. They're teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you the best furnace units available. And now's the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272. Or stop by their showroom west of DI. And online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
Daryl's Appliance is feeling the Christmas spirit and wants to spread some cheer. Join them December 17th to enter to win a KitchenAid stand mixer and other prizes at Daryl's during their in-store event. Get some hot cocoa and a picture with their special guests, Santa and Mrs. Claus. They have Christmas specials all December on GE, Whirlpool, and other appliances. Plus, get 12 months interest-free financing and Daryl's famous service that backs every sale. Only at Daryl's, west on Airport Road.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Open enrollment for individual health insurance is November 1st through January 15th. Coverage through the marketplace is available with more tax credits. You could save a bunch. If you haven't qualified in the past, try again now. We will help you navigate the marketplace, understand your choices, and complete enrollment. Trying it on your own can be frustrating. Let us help. Call 752-9493. There is no cost to work with us. Having a local agent makes all the difference. Call 752-9493.
Aggie basketball is getting closer. It's KVNU Game Day with Al Lewis.
Yeah, it's been big. We have a lot of leaders on our team. All of us are vocal leaders. So yeah, I mean, he's hot with giving him the ball for sure.
Whoever's hot, get him the ball. Max Shulga, again, what his assist game has been terrific lately. He's one of our Aggie captains, real solid player lately. Always do. An interesting stat from Cache Valley Bank before the game. The Aggies go into this game 7-0, one of 7 undefeated teams in the nation. And they are 7-0 all-time against Loyola Marymount. The last time they played was in that CIT tournament in 2012. After they had beaten Weber State, the Aggies then played them here, won 77-69 to set them up to get into that championship game of the CIT. But the Aggies have never played Loyola Marymount on the road, and this is the first time that's ever been a neutral floor game. They played in the 2004 Gosler, and they've never played the Aggies at home in a home game. So the Aggies have always had them, again, now for the first time, in a neutral game tonight. And we wanted to bring in assistant coach Matt Henry tonight in a couple of interview features we'll have with him the next finish off this month on our game days. And he talks tonight about the recruit that he was mostly involved in. That's where we get started. We've added some new recruits as a staff. Did you recruit any of those guys individually, or how does recruiting go with this staff?
It's kind of the same thing where people will take a lead or point person on someone, and then the rest of us kind of help out and chip in. So there's certainly point people, but there's also a collective nature of it. So we're all in on it.
Did you have one of these guys, or can you tell us about one of these players a little bit more?
Yeah, I had a little bit more to do with Carson Templin, forward out of Dallas, who signed in the fall. So I got to know Carson over the last year or so, and really excited about having him be part of the Aggies and his family be part of the Aggies. He has family ties to the state. His mother grew up in the state. He is a member of the LDS Church. His parents went to BYU. He has a sister at BYU, so there's a lot of connections to the state.
What kind of player is he?
He is it's a tough combination for us to find because we appreciate skill and passing and shooting, but we're also always, to compete at this level, need ruggedness and competitiveness and physicality. And I think he finds a good mixture of that. He's been an interior player for most of his high school career, but he's starting to kind of really grow into being a dribbler and a passer and a shooter. And I think he's athletic, he's versatile. I think he'll fit in nicely. Not the kind of size at the 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", but much more in the kind of the historically a lot of Aggies, front court guys have been in that 6'6" to 6'8" range. He fits into that. I will refuse to name any names just because that puts a level of expectation on a young kid. One of the neat things about Carson is he's not going to be 18 until June 15th. Wow. So he's going to come to summer school next year as a 17-year-old. Which I think just speaks to the upside he's going to have. Sometimes you get these freshmen who are 19 or 20 years old, but he's really going to develop.
So you'll get him in for early and be able to work with him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's not finalized, but generally all of our newcomers are able to come in for summer school in early June.
Wow, that's great. And then again, your thoughts on this season. I mean, I know you probably worked on the schedule with the coaches and things like that to put this together. This preseason has been interesting, whereas I think you line up against somebody who you feel like is a pretty good matchup almost every single night in this preseason, which is a little bit different in some ways.
Yeah, I hope all of the fans out there recognize and realize like the tough teams that we have played thus far. I mean, Oral Roberts was in a Sweet 16 2 years ago with multiple players from that team. One of the best players in the country, and Max Asmus was in here last Tuesday, and Bradley was picked second in the Missouri Valley, which is, generally if you're second in the Missouri Valley, you're in the mix for an at-large bid of the NCAA tournament. Santa Clara was in the NIT like us last year. Has had some nice wins before and after playing us. Utah Valley's got a really good program. Mark Madsen does a really nice job, and they've been competitive and played well since playing us. And who's the fourth that I'm missing? San Diego, right?
With Steve Labby.
San Diego's super talented, right? And they've kind of been up and down in their results with so many new pieces. But we've played a lot of good teams,
and still to come.
Yeah,
some good
and it keeps coming, right? I mean, I think Utah Tech is going to be really competitive in their league in the WAC, and Loyola Marymount's playing great, beat Georgetown the other day, had a really nice win against Bellarmine, who people might not realize. Bellarmine's a really good low to mid program, and Loyola Marymount beat them by 25 the other day. So they're really good. Then San Francisco's 6-1. San Francisco was the at-large team in the NCAA tournament last year. So yeah, and then we got to Hawaii, and we have Weber coming. So there's really no let up, and it may not be the biggest names in terms of the high major teams. We're talking about really, really good programs and really good teams this year. So, yeah, not a lot of rest on our end.
Well, and I mean, that's the way you want it, because what did you think of the Mountain West Conference last year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was as good a year from an NCAA tournament perspective in terms of appearances the league had, I think, since 2012. So, the top was incredible last year, and the middle was very strong. And I think what we're looking at this year in the league is the bottom is lifted, which was anticipated. Are there going to be kind of 4 NCAA at-large teams? Like, I hope so, right? But San Diego State is probably a level above where anyone was last year at the top. And then from after that, and Wyoming probably is too, but they've just been banged up with some injuries to Graham Ike, and then Hunter Maldonado got hurt recently in a game. So we just haven't seen the real version of them. But then when you get past those two, that middle tier is not 3 or 4 schools. That middle tier is basically everybody else. So it's been really competitive.
It is. Family enjoyed moving here to Logan?
Yeah, it's amazing. That's probably year 2 of being here has just been easier. Now, I think winter's come a little bit sooner this year rather than last year.
It was so warm for so long, and then all of a sudden it just...
Well, it's true. Fair enough. It was 70s there for most of October, right? And now all of a sudden we're getting snow again. No, it's been good. I mean, my family's really enjoyed it. I think our favorite activity is just supporting all of the Aggie teams. Going to a women's soccer game, going to a football game. I coming to watch us play here in the Spectrum. My family loves that. And going into Logan Canyon, going and playing at Ryan's Place Playground in River Heights. I mean, they're really enjoying it. It's been really good.
I hope you get some time with the family, because sometimes I wonder about coaches if they do. But Coach Henry, appreciate what you're doing for Utah State so far.
Yeah, thanks so much, Al. Appreciate it.
And we'll get back again with Coach Henry a little bit more on his coaching with Ryan Odom going into the second year in Logan. And again, he hasn't been with him as long as the other guys, but he was back at UMBC and moved here as well. He talks about this league. Aggies 18 in the net rankings starting today. New Mexico 29, Nevada's 39, UNLV 43, San Diego State 51, Boise 55.